Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro denounced that Guyana's current actions are the same as those of former British Guyana. Demonstrators took to the streets in the West Bank city of Ramallah on Tuesday following the death of senior Hamas official Saleh Arouri. Russian anti-aircraft defense shoots down 9 Ukrainian air targets near the city of Belgorod amid Kyiv's continuing attacks against Russian territory. Welcome to From the South. I am Alejandra Garcia from teleSUR Studios in Havana, Cuba. We begin with the news. Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro denounced that Guyana's current actions are the same as those of the former British Guyana. The Venezuelan head of state said the country is presently in a difficult situation regarding the territorial controversy with Guyana over the Essequibo, due to the presence a few days ago of a British military ship in the waters yet under dispute. Maduro affirmed that his Guyanese counterpart, Mohammed Irfan Ali, is behaving as London's enclave by accepting that one of its warships gets near Venezuelan coast to threaten Caracas. The Bolivarian president reiterated that Venezuela has the military power to respond to any threat from any aggressing country.
Guyana is not acting as a cooperative Republic of Guyana. Guyana is acting as a British Guyana, allowing that a warship goes to its coast and from its coast threatens Venezuela.
In Argentina, the Association of State Workers denounced a second wave of layoffs and called for an extraordinary meeting on Tuesday. The Association of State Workers denounced that the government of Javier Milei started a second wave of layoffs in the state. The union organization detailed that 550 layoffs were added to the 7,000 dismissed last week. In this context, they called for this afternoon an extraordinary meeting to evaluate measures against the adjustment in the public sector. The meeting will start at 4 p.m. local time in Buenos Aires, where the union will analyze complaints about hundreds of layoffs, sanctions, and compulsory transfers, besides considering the call made by the Central Workers Union. The government of Argentina suspended the access to credits for pensioners and retirees granted through the financing program of the National Social Security Administration. The decision came into effect this Tuesday, being justified by the government with the excuse of safeguarding the profitability of the Sustainability Warranty Fund. Likewise, the suspension of these benefits was published in the official Gazette, and it is the first resolution issued by the National Social Security Administrator. In Argentina, the Congress begins debates this Tuesday on the mega decree law proposed by President Javier Milei. In this Tuesday's debate, the commissions will be set up to analyze in first instance the bill that was introduced by the lower house. This bill intends a series of modifications to important laws. Among them, it establishes the free commercialization and eliminates the regulation by the state for the benefit of private capitals. The Congress, in an extraordinary session, will deal with the economic deregulation proposed by the government. President Milei expressed in his year-end message that if this mega decree is not approved, the Argentine people will experience an economic catastrophe. Let's take a short break, but remember you can join us on TikTok at teleSUR English, where you will find news in different formats, news updates and more. Other stories coming up, stay with us. Welcome back. Demonstrators took to the streets in the West Bank city of Ramallah on Tuesday following the death of senior Hamas official Saleh Arouri. The crowd demanded revenge for Arodi's assassination, chanting slogans and calling on Syed Hassan Nasrallah, Secretary General of Lebanon's Hezbollah, to take action. The explosion in Beirut killed Araudi and 3 other officials. This blast followed more than 2 months of heavy shooting exchanges between Israeli troops and Hezbollah members along the southern border of Lebanon. Araudi was one of the founders of the military wing of Hamas, which had led the group's presence in the West Bank.
As we always say, one leader is going, more leaders is coming. So this is not the end, and if they killed one of the leaders, more leaders and more Palestinians will take the flag and will continue the fighting against this occupation, and Palestine will be free, whatever they did, whatever they done.
In Japan, the death toll rose to 57 following the 7.6 magnitude earthquake that struck the west coast on January 1st. Authorities reported that most of the victims were recorded in the city of Wahima in Ishikawa Prefecture and noted that the town suffered major structural and fire damage. They also warned that the continuous aftershocks of the earthquake are hampering rescue efforts, making it difficult to rescue at least 14 people who remain trapped under the rubble in the city. Around 1,000 Japanese security forces are participating in the rescue operations, and more than 46,000 people are evacuated to the Ishikawa and Toyama prefectures. French authorities issued red alert after floods caused heavy rains. Officials indicated that more than 50 people have been displaced from their homes due to the rainfall. They also detailed that the northern and western areas of the country are the most affected by the rains. In this context, the Meteorological Service forecasts the rain will intensify during the next few days, while local authorities urge the population to maintain the necessary safety measures. So far, no deaths or injuries have been reported.
And now all these people in the first houses have been taken to the town hall, put in a warm place, to have a toilet, and then to eat lunch. And now the water is still rising, so we're just waiting. There's not much left to do. We've already experienced it over the last few days. And yesterday we had a forestage of what was to come. We were flooded, but houses were barely spared. Today that's not the case, and it's rising more dangerously than usual. And we can see that the more it comes, the more the water surges, and the more intense they are.
In the United Kingdom, Storm Hank leaves several weather warnings after heavy flooding in the southeast of the country. The Met Office issued a yellow warning for the towns of Kent, East West Sussex, and Surrey, while a rain warning remains in effect for most of East and West Sussex. The office also noted that the Cockmere and Bull rivers were at their high level and are expected to continue to rise. Authorities urged the population to maintain the corresponding safety measures due to the increase in rainfall. In Peru, at least 1.5 million citizens remain at risk of landslides in several regions of the country as a result of the rains caused by El Niño weather phenomenon. According to the National Center for Estimation, Prevention and Reduction of Disaster Risk and the National Service of Meteorology and Hydrography, the rains will be heavy in the northern part of the country. At the same time, they warned of the possibility of mass movements that, in general, occur on the western and eastern slopes of the mountain range. They also indicated that more than 422,000 houses are in danger, in addition to 1,234 health facilities and 9,000 educational institutions that are in areas that could be affected by landslides. We have a second short break coming up, but before we invite you to join our WhatsApp community for our English-speaking audience. You can scan the QR code on screen to join directly and share the link to reach more people. Constant news, coverage of Latin America and the Caribbean, as well as the rest of the world. Stay connected and informed with teleSUR. Final short break, don't go away. Welcome back to From the South. Somalia vowed to defend its territory on Tuesday after a controversial deal between Ethiopia and the breakaway state of Somaliland, with branding it as an aggression. The deal was announced in Addis Ababa on Monday, only days after Mogadishu agreed to resume dialogue with the separatist northern region after years of stalemate. Somaliland, a former British protectorate of about 4.5 million people, has been seeking full statehood since claiming independence from Somalia in 1991. Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy said in a statement Ethiopia would formally recognize Somaliland. The Somalia cabinet denounced the move as a blatant assault on the independence, sovereignty and unity of the Federal Republic of Somalia and announced it was recalling its ambassador to Ethiopia for consultations. The cabinet also said it was seeking urgent meetings of the United Nations Security Council and the African Union to discuss Ethiopia's aggression and interference against the sovereignty of our country.
Yesterday, we were committed, and today, we are still committed. No one is going to be able to give out an inch of Somali territory. There is no way for us to do so. Somalia belongs to Somalis. Somalia belongs to Somalis. That is our stance. We will die for that cause and will defend every location where Somalis belong to.
The government of France announced the closure until further notice of its embassy in Niger for diplomatic reasons following the coup d'etat that overthrew former President Mohamed Bazoum. The Foreign Ministry indicated that the activities of the embassy in Niamey would be carried out from now on from Paris. The Foreign Ministry also assured that it will maintain its tie with non-governmental organizations working in the humanitarian field, which it would continue to finance. For its part, Paris accused the Nigerian military junta of making it impossible to maintain the diplomatic mission, wielding a blockade around the embassy and restrictions on personnel, describing the act as a clear violation of the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations. The Russian armed forces have confirmed that they attacked with precision weapons on Tuesday several Ukrainian military industry plants engaged in the production and repair of missiles and unmanned aerial vehicles. According to a statement by the Defense Ministry, the targets of the attacks were in around the city of Kyiv and added that several storage sites for missiles, artillery and aviation ammunition supplied to Ukraine by Western countries were also attacked. The Ukrainian side reported that the detonations were heard both in Kyiv and in the cities of Kharkov, Vinnytsia and Kirovograd. Around noon, Ukraine reportedly launched a response attack against the Russian province of Belgorod. The governor of the Russian city of Belgorod, Vyacheslav Gladkov, said that Russian anti-aircraft defense shot down 9 air targets near the city on Tuesday, while the Russian Defense Ministry revealed that the attempted Ukrainian attack was carried out with 2 Toshka-U missiles and 7 Ola missiles. According to preliminary data, no injuries were reported. However, the Belgorod governor informed that some houses and a car had been damaged in the city. The operational services are assessing the consequences on the ground. Russian President Vladimir Putin has condemned the Ukrainian rocket attack on the center of the Russian city of Belgorod, which killed 25 people, including 5 children. Our correspondent Oleg Jasinski has the details.
Russian President Vladimir Putin calls the Ukrainian missile attack on the Russian border town of Belgorod a terrorist act.
What has just happened in Belgorod is, of course, a terrorist act. Why? Because 2 Bilhat missiles were fired from multiple rocket launching systems right in the center of the city, where people are walking on New Year's Eve.
Putin assures that the Russian Defense Ministry will respond with an increase in high-precision strikes on military targets, not allowing itself to be led by provocations to carry out similar acts against civilians.
We are attacking with high-precision weapons the places where decisions are made, the places where the military and the mercenaries are gathered. other centers of this kind. First of all, the military installation, and these attacks are very sensitive.
On December 30, the Zelensky government attacked a public square in Belgorod, resulting in some 25 deaths, including 5 children and 109 wounded, 45 of whom remain in hospitals in the regional center and 25 in the federal center.
At the end of 2023, the enemy struck a blow and put pain in our hearts, killing children, adults, destroying, wounding, and we understand even more against whom our soldiers are fighting, defending our country, our freedom.
As an immediate measure, the Russian Ministry of Defense, acting on orders from the Kremlin, has ordered some 20,000 Russian troops to be on duty at border crossing during all holidays until January 8.
President Recep Tayyip Erdogan announced on Tuesday that Turkey's exports in 2023 hit a record high of $255 billion, ticking up to 0.6% from the previous year. According to the president, the figure surpassed the medium-term program's target of $255 billion. Besides, the exports to imports coverage ratio gained 0.8 percentage points from the previous year to reach 70% in 2023. The country's foreign trade deficit narrowed 3.2% year-on-year in 2023. As of October, Turkey's annual service exports also reached a historic high of $99.3 billion. Erdogan said that Turkey aims to boost its goods and services exports in 2024 to over $375 billion.
Now I would like to share with you the export figures for 2023. Our exports in 2023 reached $255.809 billion, with an increase of 0.6% compared to last year, breaking the record of our republic's history. The European Union, our largest partner in exports, ranks first again with a total of $104.3 billion. The top 3 countries that stand out in terms of the increase in the value of our exports are as follows. The United Arab Emirates with 63.4%, Russian Federation with 16.9%, and Saudi Arabia with 150.4% increase.
We have come to the end of this news brief, but you can find these and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net and join us on social media, Facebook, X, Instagram, Telegram and TikTok. For TeleSUR English, I'm Alejandra Garcia. Thank you for watching.